everybody. So I just tried to make a video on my phone and I was going to see how it worked with YouTube because apparently I could videotape it and then it could go directly onto YouTube without having to do the whole plug my camera into the computer. Anyway, it didn't work. That's what I'm trying to get at. So I'm back to using my normal little camera that I always use. But I realized that I never got around to making my coffee, tea, or collaboration video. I'm in a group on YouTube, or hello. Well, it is for YouTube, but it's a group on Facebook where a bunch of us meet every week and talk about topics we want to do, and we each do a video on that topic, and it's been a lot of fun. I think I've only made 2 now, but the first one I believe was blessings, and I somehow missed it. And I remember writing down like notes about my blessings because I've been so blessed in my life. So I knew I was excited to do this video, but I don't know if it was when my son and I went to Little House on the Prairie or what, but somehow I missed it. So anyway, my son is away right now watching WWE SummerSlam, and he should be back pretty soon, but so I've just had some free time on my hands and I thought, why not get caught up on some of my videos? So this video is about blessings, and I'm going to start off by reading you a verse that I love about blessings. This is in Luke. Okay, this is where I wanted to go. Sorry. By the way, I love this Bible. It's called The Message, and I got to get comfortable here. It's called The Message, and it speaks in like terms that I understand a little bit better. I guess it's not for everyone, but for me, it just explains things in easier form. So, okay. You're blessed when the tears flow freely. Joy comes with the morning. Count yourself blessed every time someone cuts you down or throws you out. Every time someone smears or blackens your name to discredit me. What it means is that the truth is too close for comfort, and that person is uncomfortable. You can be glad when that happens. Skip like a lamb if you like. For even though they don't like it, I do, and all heaven applauds. And know that you are in good company. My preachers and witnesses have always been treated like this. But it's trouble ahead if you think you have it made. What you have is all you'll ever get. And it's trouble ahead if you're satisfied with yourself. Yourself will not satisfy you for long. And it's trouble ahead if you think life's all fun and games. There's suffering to be met, and you're going to meet it. It goes on to talk about how, you know, it took me a long time to realize this too, but, you know, for me, it took having to go through hard times to realize how blessed I am and to appreciate things better and to just open my eyes and start learning. I can't say I figured it all out because I learn every day, but I have started learning a different way of looking at life and being grateful and letting the small things go and picking battles and just being grateful. I can't tell you how many times a day I say the word grateful, and I also say the word blessed. Grateful and blessed. Like, I feel like I say it all the time. So maybe I'll start by telling you a little bit about some of my struggles and how it brought me to where I am today. So I started hanging out with the wrong crowd in junior high school, and we started smoking marijuana, we started drinking, all that stuff, and I would skip school, and so that's kind of when it started. I was really young. I was really young when it started, and so, you know, there's days where I look back and I'm like, gosh, what a waste of life. Like, I wish I could go back, and it makes me so sad because now I'm almost 35 and I can't go back. I can't change anything. But if I hadn't have been through that, I don't think I would be as good of a mother as I am. I don't think I'm the best mom in the world or anything like that. I'm not tooting my own horn, but I know I wouldn't be able to be the mom that I am today if I hadn't been through some of these hard things. So anyway, that's what I did for a long, long time, up until I got pregnant. So about, well, 9 years ago, I tried going out and having a few drinks when Malloy was just a little baby, and it just didn't work for me. Every time I went out, I felt awful. So I've been sober just over about 8 years, and wow, about 8 years and 3 months. So, and to me, that's crazy and amazing. And when I say it, I feel like I'm somebody else saying it. It doesn't feel like me. So, anyway, so I just got into a lot of smoking pot, a lot of drinking, a lot of experimenting. But my real addiction came when I was hit by a drunk driver in 2001, and I broke my pelvic bone, my lower back, hurt my leg, hurt my neck. I was just a mess, and it was bad, and it was a lot of time going through physical therapy and learning how to do things, and having to let people take care of me. You know, you lose a lot of pride, I guess. You have to just suck it up, because people are going to have to help you use the restroom. People are going to have to help bathe you, and you just have to let that go. And I did, and that's actually why I do what I do today. Why I'm a home health aide, and why I take care of elderly people. It's because I've been there, and I've needed people to help me that way. Okay, so I always get off topic. Like, whenever I explain something, it goes into something else, and then to something else. So bear with me, excuse me, sorry. That's just how I am. My brain just goes places. So anyway, after the car accident, I was put on, Malloy will be home. I'm just getting a text that he'll be home soon, so I gotta make this quick. Okay, I was put on pain medication, and a lot of it, and for a long time, and I ended up, as you can guess, getting addicted to the pain medications, and it lasted a long time for, gosh, 7 years, 6 years, and it got bad. Someday I'll make a more in-depth video about my addiction, but it got bad. It got really bad, and I'm lucky to be alive at this point. And God definitely saved me, and I think He saved me by blessing me with my son. Even though at that moment I was in no place to have a child, I wasn't even with his father at all. Like, he was just somebody that I knew, who I'd met. It wasn't a relationship. I was with somebody for a long time, and he ended up going to Iraq, and when he left, I really just hit my bottom, and yeah, I got pregnant, and it was just kind of a one-time thing, and here I'm pregnant. And it was the first time I'd ever been pregnant, and I personally don't believe in abortion for me. And so in my eyes, in my mind, in my heart, I knew that God gave me my son, and it was supposed to be, it was meant to be. And so I needed to just trust God, and get my act together. And I knew I wouldn't be alone. I knew he'd be with me every step, guiding me and helping me, and he did. I was going to like 3 AA meetings a week or more, and I just did it. And I got back involved in church, and so to me, to be sober is a blessing, a huge blessing. It saved my life. Yeah, so also my son is a blessing for so many reasons. I have never had this much joy in my life, ever. I've never had this much love in my life, fulfillment, motivation, determination, peace. There's no words. I could never explain it enough. Being a mom is such a blessing, such a blessing. With that being said, I'm a single mom, and I've been a single mom my son's whole life, and money has not been plentiful, and so I've really had to trust God to provide. And he has, this is what God does sometimes. He breaks you down in certain areas so that he can build you back up. He breaks you down so that you don't have anything else to rely on but him. It grows your faith, it grows your hope in him, and it's hard to go through it. But once you go through it and you can look back, it all comes together and it all makes sense. God doesn't allow things to happen because he wants us to hurt. He allows things to happen so that he can be there to catch us, so he can teach us, walk with us. And that's what he's done, and that's what he's continuing to do. There's a lot of days, though, where when I can't pay my bills and I start feeling really sorry for myself and getting really angry at God, and I'll look on Facebook and I'll see these happy little couples that are married with children, and they've got this nice house and they're on a vacation, and I'll say, what did I do to not deserve, why don't I deserve that, And I'll get real down on myself about it. And I know that's Satan. Satan wants us to believe his lies, and he knows what things get to us. He knows our weak spots, and so he throws these at me, and I've got to fight him every day. But I know the truth, and the truth is God's truth, and it's not Satan. So once I get myself out of that and I realize how blessed my son and I are, all those things that I feel like I'm missing out on, they go out the window. No family is perfect. They might look perfect, but not, everyone's dealing with something. And so for me to think that these people are perfect and my life is terrible, it's really just silly. Because everyone's got issues, everyone's got problems, everyone's dealing with something, and so many things could be wrong. There could be so many things happening to my son and I, and they're not. You look at people whose children are dying of cancer, you look at people who are in terrible car accidents and their family loses somebody, or homelessness, or people going through addiction and they're still in their addictions. So we are very blessed to be where we are today, and so there'll be times, like I said, where I don't know how I'm going to pay bills or how I'm going to do this or that, and God is amazing. God is amazing and provides, and it's always in the craziest ways. So like this week, for instance, there's so many that I literally can't remember them all. But this week, on Friday, I was like, oh wow, I'm almost out of gas and I don't have any money. What am I going to do? And I go to check my mail, and inside the mail is something from my car insurance company. And it's a gift card for the gas station for $15 because I must have told somebody about it, and they referred, one second. they went and got insurance, and they told the company that I referred them. They gave them my name. And so, just like that, I've got gas for the weekend. So, those are the kind of things that happen to me all the time. Hold on a second, Malloy is here. I'm gonna let him in and then So, I'm back. My son is home now, and he doesn't want to be on camera because he's hot, and he took his little shirt off. And he's watching recaps of the WWE SummerSlam that he was watching tonight. So, anyways, I'm going to finish this up really quick. There are a lot of other blessings that I could talk about, but it would literally take like 3-5 hours, days, months. Because that's how many, like every day to me is a blessing. But some of the big ones, one of them was my old car just was, it died, and I had no vehicle, and I didn't know what I was gonna do. Pretty much what happened was a stranger who I've never met blessed me and Malloy with a minivan. I will cry just talking about it because it was so... Nothing like that has ever happened to me before. He had heard about me and my son from my sister, and she had told him about just, you know, that I had been sober for some time, and I'd been working on sobriety and involved in our church, and we would, you know, my son and I like to pack meals at church for Haiti, and so she talked about that and just some other things. And this guy was going to sell his minivan just for like, I don't know, $1,000. It's not in the best condition, but it runs, it works, it's a minivan. And literally my son and I had been praying for a minivan. Even when we had the red car, our little car that died, we had been praying that someday, somehow we would have a minivan, because we just thought it'd be awesome to have. And you know, I usually have my nephews and my niece with me quite a lot during the week, and then his friends also. So we prayed and prayed and prayed for a minivan. And I remember praying a lot, saying, I don't know how it's gonna happen, God, but I know you provide, and I know you make miracles. And I just remember praying that, and just having faith, and just telling my son that he could believe that it would happen, because God is good. And sure enough, just out of the blue, someone we'd never met blesses us with a van. And it was really cool the way it happened. They surprised me with it. They kind of they made up a little story to get me over to my sister's house, and long story, but pretty much I was walking with my niece, and my sister's garage opened, and the minivan backed out, and my whole family was standing there, and the guy came up and introduced himself and explained to me what was happening. And I thought I was in a dream. Like, I've never had someone bless me quite like that before. So that was a huge blessing in our life. My mom is a huge blessing to me and my son. She loves my son so much. She loves all of her grandchildren so much. But for the first year of Malloy's life, we lived with her, and it was a hard year for me. I was newly sober, half of it. Trying to get sober, and then newly sober. And she, you know, would take Malloy so I could take a bath, or take Malloy so I could run to the store, or go to a movie with a friend. She would just change his diapers sometimes, or buy him things. And yeah, that first year was really hard, and it was really hard doing it alone. But to have my mom was a blessing I'll never forget. My dad is a huge blessing. He is a wonderful papa to Malloy. Malloy adores him. He adores Grandma and Papa. Like, I think those are his two favorite people in the universe. But yeah, my dad has been here for us. He's been a big help. If something needs to be moved, he comes over and helps with that. He takes Malloy so I can work. My mom too, she takes Malloy. When I was working my 2 jobs, my mom would take him every week so I could work. The list goes on and on, the things my mom and my dad have done for us. Those are blessings I'll never forget. My siblings, all of them, every single one of them, have helped me in different ways, and it's amazing. It's a blessing, everything they do. I never forget. I wake up every day and I remember everyone that's ever blessed me. I never forget. I never forget the blessings. Money, financially, there's been people who just out of the blue will hand me money, and it will be right when I need it. It'll be a week where I had to pay a couple big bills and I've got nothing left, and something will come in the mail, or a friend from church will just say, I thought you might need this, or they'll hear that I was having a hard time and they'll send it to me or give it to me or whatever. But every single time I want to cry because I can't handle just how grateful I feel for that. Also, it was hard in the beginning to accept those kind of gifts, because I want to be the one giving those gifts. I want to be the one blessing other people. So it took a long time for me to just say yes when people would bless us. I would say, no, I'm not taking that. I can't accept it. No, no, no. But after a while, I kind of learned that, all blessings are from God, and He works through these people who are blessing me. He works through them to bless us and to provide for us. And the people that bless me, I know are doing it because they love Malloy and I, and they care about us. And I think they believe too that if I were in that spot, I would do the same for them. And I do what I can to bless others, as much as I can. It's not financially. If I can do it financially, I will. But normally it's not, because I don't have money like that. But watching people's children, giving people rides, cooking for them. I love to cook and bake for people. I do it all the time. We'll bake something and we'll just bring it around to different people in our apartment complex. There's some really wonderful people here who are alone. They don't have anybody, and so when I cook meals, I make sure to cook enough to save some and bring it to them. What else do we do, Malloy, to bless other people? We'll randomly bring people hot chocolate or coffee if we see somebody that just looks like they might need something. I pray a lot for people. That's one thing I love doing. That's one thing I know I can do all the time. So whenever anyone's dealing with something and they ask for prayer, or even if they don't ask for prayer, I pray for people. I love to pray. I love to listen. So if you ever need someone to listen, I would love to bless you by listening. I know sometimes you just want someone to listen and not talk. And so I've learned to be a good listener. So I bless people in that way. I try to give back. We pack meals for people in Haiti. We just do what we can. Sometimes we'll just go out and pick up litter. We've done things with church where we go spend the entire day blessing the community. But blessing people feels even better than being blessed in my book, I think. I mean, I love blessing people. I love it. And I just, every day, like that's something I tell my son when he goes to school. We say our prayer. On the way to school in the van, we say our daily prayer. And one of the main things that we always pray for is to be a blessing to others. And I always say, you know, God, show my son how he can be a blessing to others, whether it's picking up someone's book that they dropped, or standing up for somebody if a bully is picking on them, or whatever it may be. I always ask God to show my son, or to put it in his heart, because I just think it's so important. And if everyone blessed people every day at least once, the world would be so much better. People don't realize that. The world is very selfish, obviously. I think I don't have to say it, people, you probably know it, but the world is very selfish and greedy. And so like I said, just these small ways. You know, we have a radio station here called KTIS, and it's a Christian radio station, and they do something called the drive-through difference. And basically what you do is you pay for the people behind you. And you can print out a little note that explains, like, we're blessing you because of this or that or whatever. Or you can just tell the cashier, I'm just paying for the people behind me, just tell them I said God bless you. Or you can write them a little personal note, whatever. But I just think that's such a cool way to bless people. Strangers, people you don't know. How else have we been blessed, babe? I mean, it's insane. We have a pastor at our church who has stepped up to be a huge role model in part in Malloy's life. It's like his other grandpa. He takes them at least once a week to do something like fish or go for a walk, or he teaches them how to do these manly things in the yard. He takes them to Twins games, baseball games, all kinds of things. But to have a godly man figure in his life is huge. There's a lot of them in our life that we have been blessed with. God has brought them into my son's life, and that's a huge, huge blessing. My laptop right here. I posted on Facebook that I was looking for a cheap laptop for my son to have for school, and a friend of a friend, whatever, saw that post and said, I have a laptop I want to give you. Please accept it. I want it to go to someone who could use it and who would appreciate it. And she gave it to us. And it's a nice laptop. I mean, it's missing an eye, but it still works. It's just missing the little key. But it's a nice laptop, and it works, and it's amazing. It's just great. We have neighbors who bless us. Christmas and birthdays, they go way out and bless us with things that they really didn't have to do. She, in conversation, heard me say that Malloy's bike was too small and that he would need a new bike this summer. And all of a sudden, she shows up at our deck one morning and calls me and says, can you come out really quick? She had gone to Walmart and bought my son a bike and a helmet. Brand new bike and helmet. See what I mean? I could stand here all night and tell you ways that we've been blessed. It's absolutely God. God, God, God. God provides, God blesses. And I think, you know, when you start living life and you start doing things the right way, you know, God has showed me when I do wrong, He makes sure I know it, and I can't just go about my day. I have to fix it. One example I use a lot is, you know, like if I go into the grocery store and I leave without remembering to be charged for bottled water or pop on the bottom of the cart. And, you know, years ago, before I had my son and before I fixed my life, I could leave and be like, yes, bonus, I got a free case of pop or whatever. Now I can't. I have to go back inside and pay for it. And I've asked God to do that. I've asked God to not let me have a heart like that, and to just want to do the right things. And I think that when we start obeying and we start doing the right things, God rewards us and blesses us for those things. But at the same time, I mean, that's God's love. He loves us so much that He wants us to have joy. He wants to bless us, and He forgives us. And, you know, I could go on and on. Like I said, this could be a very long video, but I'm going to stop now because I'm sure you're probably tired of hearing me talk. Hopefully something I said today will inspire you guys to bless somebody. You can do it in small ways. You can do it in teeny tiny ways. But start by, you know, if you have a problem, if you have a hard time coming up with ideas, or if you just forget to bless people, one thing you can do is pray that God will put it in your mind or put it on your heart. You know, I have things that I forget to do. I want to in my heart, but life is busy. And so, you know, you can ask God for those specific things. You can just say, God, I would like to bless people more. Show me how. Remind me. And He will. He absolutely will. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, I could go on and on. The bike story, the van story, there's a lot of other stories like that. Last year we got tickets to Walnut Grove, the pageant sent to us by anonymous people. I mean, Malloy, like, what am I forgetting? A lot. So I feel like I should keep going until I name them all, because I don't want anyone to think that I'm not grateful for what they've blessed me with. I mean, there's one more thing. There's a man at my church, and for the last 7 years, any time that my car has had an issue, he has fixed it. He is amazing, and he's so, what's the word? You'll say thank you to him, and you'll tell him how wonderful he is, and he just says thank you. That's all he wants. He doesn't want you to pay him. He doesn't want you to tell him how wonderful he is. He does it from his heart, and he is just amazing. And apparently the stuff that he gets, to the parts and stuff that he needs to fix my car, there was a family early on when we first began going to our church that said, anytime this family has problems with their car, we would like to pay for it. Anonymous. So once again, are you kidding me? And I have no idea. I have no idea who these people are. Okay, I gotta stop. My son wants to show me some WWE fights, and like I said, I won't be able to stop because that's just how blessed I feel we are. So
I'm saving you.
Even though we don't have a huge house, and we don't have a nice car, and we don't have, you know, I can barely pay the bills every month. I'm not in great health all the time. I mean, you know, there's all these things that I could sit and be very unhappy about. However, the blessings that we have so outweigh those struggles and challenges. So think positive, thank God, pray. God bless you guys.